Let's get talking now. Nigeria's foreign exchange market faces numerous contending issues that have far-reaching consequences for the nation's economy. Addressing these challenges through prudent economic policies, greater foreign exchange reserves management, and policy consistency is essential to ensure stability, encourage foreign investments, and promote economic growth in the country. I'm starting this Monday, and I'm being joined by Mr. Aminu Gwadabe. He is the president of the Association of Burudi Shang Operators of Nigeria, starting the week to understand what is happening in that market. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on the program.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Good afternoon, Nigeria.
Yes, I'd like to start this way. Since the federal government or the government through the CBN opened up the market to allow demand and supply run the entire space, we've been seeing this flip-flop, and the dollar got against the naira got to above 1,000 naira. First, how do you understand this move by the CBN? Is that the way to go, considering the liquidity challenges that we face?
Well, first, we should look at the volatility. The volatility of our local currency have continued to underpin the slow economic growth of our country. It has been an albatross. It's a misnomer for a country that is rich in natural resources. Just from a remark I had when the diaspora summit saying Nigeria have the resources that can feed the whole of Africa. So invariably, then we should not have problem of foreign exchange if we have resources that can feed the whole of Africa. And that is not the situation. What we always observe is the naira dancing naked at the market square. There has been a very, very huge challenges over the period. It is as long as 30 years, 40 years that we have been having volatility in our exchange market. Yes, the issues of shortages that you have also mentioned, we have limited scope of all sources of foreign exchange. The only one that I can say liquid now is the reserve and also the crude oil. The diaspora remittances is not coming. Also, the portfolio investors are not coming, which form a very, very large chunk of our foreign inflows. Also, in terms of transparency, yes, the market has been kind of under happenings that is not transparent. Transactions cannot be monitored. So these are some of the challenges the market has been facing. And one of the major challenges, the naira is not weakening because of the demand for dollar. But the naira is weakening because of unearned income, I mean grafted funds that are pursuing dollar in our economy.
It's a good way to start. But I would ask, what happened last week? There was this drop that we witnessed, and everyone has been talking about it, even on social media and everywhere. We see that shift, and this follows when we heard the CBN has started to clear some backlogs. How does this come to you? Can you put us through?
That's a good news, and it's a paradoxical situation because we have seen where the naira have almost lost value to about 1,300 to a dollar, 1,310. As at Saturday, the naira gained considerable strength that it closes to even below 1,000 to about 980 to a dollar. So that is a good news. It's fundamental. Of course, there is no any empirical evidence to back up the mindless race of depreciation that we have witnessed in the past 3 or 4 weeks. However, I think I want to congratulate the Apex Bank and also the fiscal policy authorities. These have happened through a combination of many factors. On the part of the fiscal authorities, we have, this is a market that is driven by information. On the part of the fiscal authorities, we have had the recommendation of the Reforms and Tax Committee, whereby they have made some powerful recommendations which form part of our advocacies. And those recommendations are expand the foreign exchange market to include the Bureau de Change, digitalize the market by liberalizing, by democratizing, by centralizing, so that you can have transparency, you can have tracking. Also, we have had of forbearance, whereby there are now concessions, whereby if people have put money under their pillows in the boot of their cars, they are now free to bring it into the formal system and deposit in your dome account without any security impediment. Also, we have seen the development of issuance of local foreign currency denominated instruments. This is also a very good move. And then we have seen now on the part of the monetary policies, the clearance of backlog. We have seen compliance with Article 8 of the IMF recommendation. IMF recommendation states that capital control should be removed. So this has helped to increase the image and the perception of the country abroad. We have seen a lot of relaxation of some difficulties in accessing bilateral finance, in accessing foreign loans, in accessing foreign engagement as a result of the removal of that capital control, which ab initio have been a monster on our ability to garner foreign inflows. So all these combination of factors have worked in driving information, in discouraging panic buying, but now reversing to panic selling.
All right, now let's move on now. Recently, also, the 43 items that were under restriction, the central bank says, no, you can now access FX. And many say this will add up to the queues already being witnessed at the, of course, the CBN offices where Forex is being accessed and all of the forms and all of that are being filled. Now, what is your reaction to this? And up to as we speak, Bureau de Change operators are yet to be carried along in the market. The CBN has not been giving funds to the BDC operators. How has it been?
Yes, first on the unbinding of the 43 items, like I said, is more like a kind of capital control. And Nigeria being a member of an IMF, they have been abusing that Article 8 of the IMF by imposing this capital control. And with the present situation, there are what we call short-term, medium-term, and long-term. The only way that we can have the immediate, the quick fix of liquidity into the economy is by bilateral arrangement. And this bilateral arrangement has always been impeded by this capital control because it's impaired international trade. And for you to have global reach, global acceptance, you must comply with the Article 8 of the IMF recommendation. So what the government is doing is that between the Red Sea and the how do you call it? Between the Red Sea and, in fact, there are two extreme situations. It's either you remove the capital control or you continue to encourage the in-house production. However, the inflationary trend of about 27% have also made the local production inefficient and then not available for even the common man to buy. So the solution now is to open that window for these goods to come and compete with the local one. Yes, I'm not unaware it will add to the challenge of the local manufacturer, but there is a way we can manage it. The way we can manage it, we can increase taxes. And since we are now giving them a kind of palliative, instead of them buying from the parallel market at 1,000 thereabout, they are now given access to buy at 730, 750. That's already a subsidy to them on the exchange rate. So how do we encourage the local industry you are talking about? The way we encourage it is to make sure we put duties on those foreign goods that are coming into our country so that our own local product can compete with them competitively. Then in terms of What's the other second question, if I remember you?
I'm saying the BDCs are yet to start to get FX from the Apex Bank.
Yeah, that is a very huge challenge. As we speak, 95% of our members have closed shop because we have competitors who are not licensed. Look at what Binance is doing. Binance is not even a registered, recognized platform in this country, and they have no challenger. So it is ideal the BDC are playing the role of correcting and moderating of the FX market. They are to challenge, they are challenger to parallel market. So it's the BDC now that have the potential, the pass-through effect of the FX foreign exchange policy. Over time, we have seen since 2021, July, when the BDC have been excluded from the foreign exchange market, official foreign exchange market, what we have seen is continuous disparity, is continuous rent-seeking. I am telling you the greatest magic that can happen in either form, either analog or digital. What I mean, either with cash or in card money. The BDC are the only institutions that can help the authorities to ensure that there is a small disparity between the official and the parallel market. There is also liquidity in where the market is critical. The retail end sector of the market is where volatility is pervasive and is where we need to address. Because a lot of Nigerians, that's where the market they go to buy 2,000, 3,000 for their traveling allowance, to buy 5,000, 10,000 for their school fees, to pay for subscription of their institutions. So this is where the catalyst is where the critical mass is. It should be addressed. It's good we're addressing the wholesale volume of investors, which is the clearance of the backlog. But however, for us to continue to achieve this success so far, so that we will not go and sleep, there is the need for an urgent engagement with the British Church, more especially in the design and development of whatever new application, like I said, analog or digital. The British Church have embraced technology over time. Most of us now send our returns online real time. We can also do online identification through the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System platform, where we validate the BVN of our clients. We are also integrated to Nigerian Financial Institution unit, where we can send suspicious transactions and cash transaction returns. So the BDC, we are ready in whatever form, in whatever recommendation of the fiscal and the monetary authorities. Our final request is that as they are building, as they are designing this application, proposed application, this proposed digitalization, is good for us to know what we can do with it and what we cannot do with it, so that we can have input and then a seamless implementation as it comes to start.
Interesting stuff. I'm now wanting to ask you, what happens to market or currency speculators when you witness this kind of drop sometimes from 1,001 plus to about 900 and something? What happens to currency speculators when stuff like this happen?
I think it is important to note that the sovereignty of any country is the sovereignty of its own currency. It is also important to note, from what I have seen, the fear of Mr. Cardoso, the civilian governor, is the beginning of wisdom. There are a lot of losses. Dollar have lost value with about 300 naira in 1 week. I have never seen it. I've never seen it. So I want to warn, most especially, for us to be careful. Now the CBN have shown their capability, their readiness, their dexterity to ensure that there is sanity in the market.
Finally, what other sources of FX are you thinking could be opportunities for us to explore at this time?
First, let us review our domiciliary account regulation. In South Africa, you can't keep money in your domiciliary account for more than 48 hours. So what is that money doing in domiciliary account? Let's review the regulation of operating a domiciliary account, non-export domiciliary account. Let's review that regulation governing it. Second, let us legislate. I'm happy they have changed the name of the official market from ILE window because it's archaic now to Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. Then there should be legislation whereby the correcting and moderating leg of the market, which is the bureau de change, will be adequately accommodated to attract diaspora remittances and also to attract the money that is hidden under our pillows and then under our car boots.
Well, indeed, we expect. Let's look at as we move towards the end of the year, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe. What do you think at this rate? What do you think we might end up the year with? Talking about our exchange rates to the dollar.
I've seen us ending in a very promising note, positive promising note, as the federal government continue to make clarification in the market. And I congratulate Nigerians.
I must thank you so much. I've been speaking to the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, there, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe. Thank you for starting the week with us on Business Nigeria. We appreciate this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure always.
Well, interesting conversation there. Everyone is interested in what happens, the greenback against the Naira. What is playing out there at your end? How much is the rate? What's the exchange rate? Both at the BDC end and at the INE window.